Hi guys, Kim here. Welcome to Backyard Blooms. In my May garden tour, I told everybody that I was going to come back in each garden, clean up a little bit, and my maintenance of what I need to do in each garden. So right now, I'm in front of my gorgeous front yard garden, I guess is which I should say, but I've got a gorgeous suite of these real pretty cashmere pink verbenas. These are brand new for this year, and oh my gosh, you guys, like, they are a true verbena. They are gorgeous. They are big. One plant gets a big wide span. It is just absolutely gorgeous. And then I think it really pairs well with the white mini Vista Super Tunia. It is just gorgeous. Like, the difference between a mini Vista and a Vista is the mini Vista stays a little bit more compact and doesn't have as big as a wide span. So like right here in my front garden, the mini Vista does really good because I don't want it to like spill over onto my concrete edging right here, where if I had the Jazzberry like I did before, it was absolutely gorgeous. However, I had to keep trimming. So anyways, I've got some maintenance to do. I try to go ahead and grab all the things that I need in my garden right now. And if you hear mowing, I'm so sorry. Like, I had to stop because the blowers, you guys, I don't know. I've never really paid attention to noise until I started to do YouTube, but oh my gosh, those blowers are so noisy. It's just like, there's no way you could even do a video. You would have to voice over. So I had to wait until they stopped, and now I hear another mower in the distance. But I live in HOA, and I live in a community with lots of houses. So if I waited for no noise whatsoever, I'd be waiting here all day long. So anyways, I went ahead and grabbed some of the stuff that I thought I would need. So for one, this juniper needs to be trimmed up really bad. It's supposed to be a spiral. It looks like it just needs a really good haircut. So we're gonna do that today. And I got a sheet. I'm gonna throw the sheet around it to collect all my clippings so it'll be easier to clean up. And then on my roses, I'm going to put out the Rose Care, the 3-in-1 Rose Care. It's for fertilizer, insect control, which it says it controls Japanese beetles. It seems like no matter what I have been still putting down, I'm still getting some, but if I didn't do anything, maybe it'd been like so much worse. So I don't know. I did this and I did the Fertilume as well. And one of my comments on my video when I was saying how gross my Japanese beetles was is that they said they used the Fertilume 6 weeks before. May have done it earlier. So maybe that was the key, 6 weeks before. And I never really heard anybody say that. Have you guys heard that 6 weeks before? Like, if you know and you have experience, a better experience than I have, like, comment and let me know. So I'm gonna put this on my roses today, and then I need to fertilize all my Mini Vista whites and my Verbena, and then I'm gonna do that with this Proven Winners water soluble plant food. Try to do this once a week. If I do not get to it once a week, I definitely like to do it at least every other week. It's suggested that you do it every third feeding. Of course, I have everything on drip, and I do, like, honestly say that my success of my gardens is due to my drip, because like I said, I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina, zone 8. It's so hot here. It can change from 70 to 90 in one day and then be back to 70 the next day. It's just kind of crazy. But anyways, having the drip to like right to the roots of my plants is like, I contribute that to be very successful. And then you have very little bit of evaporation as well, and it's like, it's less costly too on you. So because less evaporation, it gets it directly to the plants. It's very consistent in watering. Everything's set up on a timer. Right now, I think everybody, you just have to play around with your timer, you guys. Like, there's no like wrong or right way to say like, oh yeah, you gotta like have it on at least for 20 minutes or 30 minutes. A lot of times in the summertime when it gets 90, you might want to put it 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the afternoon. Versus in the springtime, maybe 20 minutes just one day will work. I think I have mine on right now for 20 minutes in the morning and 20 minutes in the afternoon for this front and my side. It's all connected on one drip zone on my timer. So anyways, I'm gonna give my plants some food because we all need food and nourishing. So I'm gonna do that. So I got my water soluble fertilizer. I've got my bucket to do that. And then to prune my juniper, I've got my Vego 2 pruners that I'm gonna use. And then I'm gonna use this Fiskars power lever hedge shears. That's what I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna use this to prune my hedges, and then also my boxwood spirals too need a little bit of haircut. And then I also noticed that my boxwoods are starting to get that little speckly, which means that that could be spider mite damage. So I'm going to spray my hedges, my boxwoods, and the juniper for spider mites because they are very, very susceptible to spider mites. If you ever see browning on your junipers, that might be the very first thing that you need to look at. You can't see them unless you shake them off onto like a white just a white piece of paper, and then you might see the little bitty tiny specks, but they say you almost need like a magnifying glass to see them. So anyways, I'm really excited to share like everything that I have in my front yard. I try to do something different every year, and I think this pink and white is gorgeous and elegant, and it really does show off my boxwood hedges. And what am I also going to do today? Oh, I got to prune my deadhead my roses up there. Got to try to do that. Some of it is really hard for me to get to, and I saw Japanese beetles on that, and I'll show you a little video of those little stinkers. And then my Japanese maple is kind of covering a little bit of my spiral boxwood, so I'm going to try to prune that up a little bit as well and pull any weeds that I see. Yep, I think that's about it. And then the grass, oh, I'll show you exactly what product. If you put just one product down on your grass, I'm going to share that with you today. My husband just mowed yesterday, and it is thick and green and lush, and it looks gorgeous. And I think a really manicured lawn just really shows off your landscape and your flower beds really, really well. So I'm a firm believer of that. I'm so glad we both are really picky and care about how our house looks from the curb and how good our grass looks, because we don't have that much grass. It's easier to take care of. I'm not gonna say easy, but easier to take care of. You do have to spend money on it to make it look good. I'm sorry to say that that is very true. You have to put down good products, and you have to spend some money on it to look good, to keep your weeds down, to fertilize. I water my grass every single day. You may have just heard my water just kick off. The other side was getting its daily dose of water, and it comes on with a timer each day as well. So let's get busy, you guys. All right, so I have some nepeta down here. This is called the cat's pajamas, so I'm gonna prune some of that back too. But before I do that, I'm just gonna put the sheet around my juniper. Probably should put gloves on. It's a little prickly, so I'm gonna go grab my gloves. So I told you I was gonna pull weeds. There's a weed, and I do have my pop-up bag right here to put everything in. This pop-up bag I'll have on my links. This one is from Sleek Garden. I think this is a 30-gallon, I believe. Lifting this up and putting it all the way around. just gonna let my clippings fall onto this, and then I can clean it up really easy. So I'm gonna start off with my hedge shears first. And let's just get all the big stuff off first, so I can see what I'm doing here. So I know this is a round ball, so I'm gonna try to separate everything and make sure I get this round ball first. If you're like freaked out about this and this scares you, just do a little bit and then do a little bit more. And then that way you don't cut too much off and you're not sorry. Take your time. There's no time limit on when you have to get this done. It's kind of fun. It's like good therapy. Especially if you're mad. If you're mad and you want to come out and do this, this is fun. Say mad, angry, anxiety, you're disappointed about something. You like put your little aggression on this little shrub. So I like to start off with this and get most of it, and then come back with my Velcro pruners and then trim it up. It's pretty hot out here today. I hope my camera doesn't overheat. I was just chit-chatting away with me and Deborah when we planted those begonias and caladiums, and then I looked up and I wasn't even videoing because my camera turned off because it was overheating. A lot of people like those small hedge trimmers. You can use that. I feel like this gives it a cleaner cut, and boy does this little thing needs it bad. See where it kind of separates? So I want all of this to be kind of away from that right here. So it's June, the first part of June. What are you guys doing? Like, I know I'm probably about a couple of months off than some of you, and then some of you are ahead of me. What are you guys doing in your garden right now? Like, if you even want to, you can come back and cut some of these off too, to kind of like separate it. Smell of this smells really good too. So yesterday was fun. I'm gonna just sit here and chit chat with you guys while I do this. Me and Dawn, I had a dermatologist, you guys, yesterday. So evidently I've got something called inflamed keratosis. And it's this spot that's been on my face and it just would never heal up. It's right underneath my eye, if you've ever noticed. And it's very irritating, and I was like, I'm throwing everything at it, retinol, I've had it frozen, like nothing seems to work. So I went back again because I felt like it was just getting worse instead of better. And then, of course, he had to put a steroid shot in it, and boy, was that fun. Not really, it stung like a dickens. And then I had another spot, like basically on the other, right underneath my other same part of my eye. So I had him freeze that. It seems like it's just been getting worse. And then the retinol, I don't know if you guys use retinol, but supposedly you can use it, you know, every day. I was using it at night instead of the day because they said you don't really want to use retinol while you're out in the sun. Well, anyways, I'm just really aggravated over it. He says it's because of age in the sun. I don't know. I try to wear a little bit of foundation each day to protect my face that's got some sunscreen in it. Have you guys battled that? Do you have that? I feel like I have it, like I do have it some on my legs, and I don't want it at all. So I did that. Dawn went with me. Everybody, Dawn is the one, she's a really good neighbor. I'll throw a picture up of Dawn. And then we went to, I was showing her around this place. They had some really cute boutiques around where we were at. And then I was telling her about this cute bird store. Well, the bird store closed, and there was an indoor plant store that went in it called the Plant House. So we went in it, and we both found and really loved this really cute butterfly container. And I just did a little short on that today. It's really cute. I'll throw a picture up of it. So we really loved that place. And then she hadn't been to King's either, so I took her to King's to show her what that nursery looked like. I bought a few cute plants there yesterday. I'm trying to even this up a little bit and making this look like a really cute ball. Like I said, take off the big parts and then go back up and shape and take your time. I'm not perfect at this. I'm just doing it. It needs to be done. And if you see any browning, go ahead, and I like to use the Captain Jack's Dead Bug for spider mites. Like I said, these bushes are really, really prone to it. I really like to do it twice a year now, like either May or June, and then I like to do it again when it's real hot, maybe like in August. All right, so I got this. So I got this pretty much defined, and then I need to work on this piece, and then this separates it too. So I need to work on this. Easier when you don't let it get this bad.
Hi, my name's Abby. I work at Plant House Waverly. Come by and buy some beautiful plants from us.
I'm gonna cover up my pruners. Make sure you have your tools really sharp, that helps. I like to break down my gardens in kind of like zones. That way I can like just tackle one thing at a time and get one whole garden done and then go to the next. Sometimes it helps just pushing one of them down. Maybe if I had a brick or something, I could push that down and I could just work on this part right here. Let's see. Something heavy. Maybe that'll help me. So it's, like I said, it's June here. I got most of all my planting done. don't really have a lot to plant right now. I just need to make sure I just take good care of everything. So I'm trying to give this a little bit of separation right here. Sometimes you can pull things down and just see if you can like live without it, and then take it off. Kind of fun to get these big pieces off. So let me know, does this freak you guys out? Do you not like doing this? Do you like doing this? Are you scared you're gonna like mess up and make a mistake? If you do, it just grows back. Right here that I was worried about with spider mites. You can see I need to spray it again. This to come up like this. That's the way it's just naturally wanting to come up anyways. Got a few pieces here that I think I could live without to make it a little bit more prominent. I'm just cutting all the way back to the main stem here. Kind of give it a separation. It would be really hard to prune everything with this, just to let you know. Alright guys, so I don't want my camera to overheat. It's out and I got a lot more still to video today, so I'm going to get this trimmed up. You kind of got the idea of how to do it, and then when I'm finished trimming it up, we'll go over that together, and then we'll head to our next little project here in our front yard. Make sure when you're working out in your garden that you have something to hydrate with. I really like my BioSteel, like I have right here. You can get this already mixed up, or you can buy it in a powder. I bought this from Amazon and I'll link it. I really like my BioSteel and I like my Ultima. It's just a really good electrolyte for whenever you're working out here in the hot garden. So make sure you hydrate. Okay guys, so that took me, I don't know, more than 30 minutes or so for me to do this, because like I said, I'm not an expert at it. that I use this sheet. How many of you guys do this? I know it just makes it easier for cleanup. Doesn't catch it all, but still a lot better than picking it up, all of it. Well, it's not perfect, you guys, by any means, but it looks better than what it did. So I'm just going to kind of roll this up. And I still have to come back with my light. Right there. I do like my lights at nighttime, especially when you live in a subdivision where people are constantly going by your house at all hours of the night. Alright, so I just gathered it all up like this. And then I'm gonna just put all my clippings in here. I don't know if you guys are aware too that even this Nepeta is pretty susceptible to spider mites. I know Laura with Garden Answer, she battles it a lot, and I think she battles it more than we do. But we still have it. We still have spider mites. We talked about this in a discussion before. A lot of people just want to plant like low maintenance stuff. I mean, honestly, just don't feel like there's just nothing that's low maintenance. Like even this should be low maintenance, but you still got to prune it. You still have to put spider mites stuff on it. And then I know people are probably like freaking out that I'm saying, you know, to treat it for spider mites. But this is not anything that's blooming, and whenever you do spray something, spray it real late at night where the bees have pretty much gone to their home. And yes, I do even have bees that do sleep on my flowers too. So of course, if you see a bee on something, don't spray it. I mean, just kind of use common sense. But I just don't know how you can just not use anything in your garden and it to look good. Definitely not something that would be YouTube presentable. Anyways. Alright, so I've still got some stuff back here to pick up. I've got weeds back here. And I think I'm gonna go ahead. Not all of these look bad. I'm just gonna kind of spruce them back up here. But some do have some spent blooms on it. So these right here look really good, but these back here that are spent, I'm just going to go ahead and trim off. If all of it was spent and you wanted to use a hedge trimmer, by all means, go ahead and do that. Have my husband oil them. When they don't spring back really good, it might be time to oil them. So even your Focos need some kind of maintenance. You guys don't have Nepeta. The bees love Nepeta. It's a real pretty plant. For me, it's really hard to grow lavender. So this is something that has the real pretty, dainty purple blooms on it that the bees still love. Still very pretty. It gives you long-lasting blooms, and once you prune it, it gives you another flush. So you really can't beat Nepeta. So I'm gonna get this all pruned up, and then when I get this all pruned and cleaned up, we'll come back and take a closer look at how I pruned my juniper. And then we're gonna spray it for spider mites, and I'll share that with you as well, along with this. And just give me a minute and I'll be right back with you. So for my garden, I like to use black mulch. I know some people say other things about it, but I really don't like, not a big fan of rock, because especially for here in my zone, Charlotte, North Carolina, it's just too hot for it. Everybody says that this black makes it more hotter. I have not had that experience in my garden. Of course, I have everything on drip, and any kind of mulch is going to prevent weeds and will keep the moisture in down below by the roots. So those are two big major factors of adding mulch. Plus, it just makes it look beautiful. All right, guys, so we're talking about spider mites. I've got 3 different products. This is called Malathon Insect Control from Bionide. Most of these products are from Bionide. And this one says it controls a great diversity of listed insects, and spider mites are on here. Aphids, all kinds of white flies, spider mites, scales, as well as a wide range of other sucking, chewing insects attacking listed fruits, vegetables, and ornaments, and controls mosquitoes, so it says. So I've got this product, and then I've got Dead Bug right here. Dead Bug says it kills bagworms, boilers, beetles. It's got spider mites on here, lots of different other products that it controls. And then this is, in here, it's got Rose Shield, which does aphids as well. I'm not sure if it does spider mites, but I think it does. And then Mitex is very similar to the Rose Shield, and this says it's for indoor and outdoor controls mites, thrips, and aphids right there. So I got 3 different products. And I'm going to use the Captain Jack's Dead Bug. It's not spraying very well. It's old. There we go, a little bit better. Just make sure you get the brown spots really, really well. Look at this 3-tiered Kinsman with these sun patients. Aren't they really, really pretty? Purple and the lilac blush. Gorgeous. And of course, that's my mistake. This one I thought was blush, and I didn't realize there was pink blush and lilac blush. So anyways, but look how pretty, like, it seems like the pink brings out this pink pigment in here. Isn't that kind of crazy? How it brought out that pink. The other one doesn't have it. So anyways, I think I might put these somewhere else and try to find me some more lilac blush. But I do like the combination. I really loved my white in here last year too. So just depending on what kind of colors of plants that I do in the front is kind of what I, in my mind, go with, even though white would have been gorgeous. All right, guys, so got all the cat mint, cat's pajamas, pruned back, and that looks good. I left some of the blooms that look really pretty. You can get a second flush, so don't be scared to cut your blooms off, your cut blooms off, your spent blooms, and then it'll give you another second flush. And then this is my little juniper topiary tree. Looks so much better. I'll show you the before and the after. Like I said, it's not perfect. I just want it to look clean and good. I mean, I try to aim for perfection. I don't want you guys to think like, oh, she doesn't try. I do try. I try my best. But if my best is not perfect, I'm okay with it. and you should be too, because we shouldn't be stressing over our gardens. We should be enjoying them, and it should bring us peace. All right, so the next thing on the list, we are going to give our plants some food. This is a 2-gallon container. I really like this container. I don't even have any idea where I got it at. Maybe Gardener Supply. That's a really good online store that I really like. And then, of course, this is my continuous release Proven Winners fertilizer. I have a link for this on Amazon. It's just as cheap on Amazon as buying it at the Proven Winners store, but if you want to get it at the Proven Winners store, you can. Some nurseries has it. Premium water soluble plant food. There we go. I mean, it suggests that you do it every 3rd watering, 1 tablespoon per 1 gallon. It's 2 gallons, so I'm gonna put 2 scoops, and then I just kind of gauge it, you guys. Like, there's no perfection to it. I don't put 1 whole gallon on 1 plant. I use maybe, like this whole entire garden, I might fill my container up 3 to 4 times. And then my containers, I may use 1 2 gallon on those 2 containers, and maybe another 2 gallons on those 2 containers. That gives you any idea. I don't overdo it, and I don't underdo it. I don't believe, as long as your plants are like really happy and healthy looking like this, like these are. You probably heard the planes. The plane. Look how pretty these are. Look, isn't it gorgeous? I like how it's got a lighter color and then a darker pink, just so many different shades of pink on here. It's so pretty and looks really, really good with the white. These Proven Winners Mini Vistas, you do not have to deadhead, but if you wanted to clean it up, you can. Like, you can pull these off like that if you really want to, but pretty much they like grow up and mound, and then they kind of hide these, is what they kind of do. We've had a lot of rain, so they're kind of not really perked up yet. We just haven't had rain. Like, it was gushing rain for the last 2 days. Just gushing. And you can kind of see it's made these blooms a little bit mushy. I do have some kind of grass growing up into it, like this right here, so I try to pull it. It's really hard to get down to the root. But if you can wiggle your fingers in there and get down to the root and get it all out. I don't know where it's coming from, but yeah, I didn't get it. Just try to keep it clean looking, keep all the weeds out. All right, so let's go get to feeding these lovely plants. So I sponsored with Vego Garden, and they sent me out this reel, and I love it. It reaches all the way out. It's 130 feet, so it reaches all the way out to the end of my driveway, where I have some gorgeous plants over there in my trash can. But anywho, like, I am so glad that I don't have to mess with the hose and putting it over top of, you know, that traditional thing where you have to go like this. This is a retractable garden hose from Vego Garden. It matches the house, as you can see, so it doesn't stand out like a sore thumb. We have ours on a 4x4 post instead of putting it on the edge of the house. You guys, if you want to get your Father's Day something and they don't have anything like this, and they like to garden, or they water, or they wash their cars, or anything, get this for your daddy for Father's Day. I have the link in my description for this, and I get a small commission if you order from me. But I love it. And that's all you have to do, is give it a tug and it pulls right back in. I don't need it this far. I'm just showing you guys how far it goes. Look at this. See? You can just kind of tug it and it stays. And put water in our can. And I gave my neighbor my little scooper. Let me go try to find a scooper. So how about this? Do you think this will do? 1, 2. This is what it looks like. My watering can has 2. To me, this just takes forever. I don't like to take that long. So I'm going to turn it on the big one. Like I said, I'm going to kind of divide it out to maybe right here and do 6 gallons total over here for the food. Alright you guys, so you don't need to see me water like everything. So I'm going to get this done and get it all finished, but I wanted to let you know like this is part of my routine, is giving all these gorgeous plants some food so they can grow. Like the more blooms they have, the more food they need. And super petunias are really heavy feeders. I'm not sure about the super bina, but I'm sure that it is, because look at this massive plant. I think I had 2 plants right here. Just gorgeous. And then all this potato vines coming from my container. But I'm going to get everything fed, and I'm really excited. I really want to show you underneath my trees those the hooplas, what's it called? Vivid orchid hooplas are so pretty, and I really want to share that with you. And then when I get it all watered, then we'll come back and look at all the gorgeous blooms that I have. And then I need to get my boxwoods pruned and my Japanese maple pruned up just a little bit, and deadhead my rose, my David Austin rose, and that one's called, what's it called? Lady of the Lake. Lady of the Lake. She's gorgeous, but she's out of bloom right now. Daggone it. How is this for curb appeal for you? Like my husband put that out on Memorial Day for my son. Most of you know that he is in the 173rd Airborne. We're very proud of him. He gets to come back to the States in July. Right now he's in Italy, Vincenza, Italy. Look at these, you guys. Look how pretty that is. This is up right next to that super bina too. So if you don't want to do white, or you could do jazzberry, or this new vivid orchid, it's so pretty. And I love how, do you see like this one right here, and then you kind of come over and then you have a little bit more white. It's just like everyone is unique and different. I love it. I only have 1 super bina in here because I had it extra, and it was probably not necessary. I probably could have actually looked better if I put 1 more over that way, but like I said, it was extra, so I put it in here. And like some of them are even like all the way white with just a little bit of the orchid pink, or orchid vivid, whatever you call that, purple, I guess. If you want to like take all these little spent blooms off too, go at it, but you don't have to. Just cleans it up a little bit better. But these need food too, and watering, because they're not on drip. But isn't that vibrant? It looks gorgeous. Can you imagine walking by on the street and be like, look how pretty it is? It's gorgeous. And my crepe myrtles are doing really good too. They've got blooms on them. Look. I have a little bit of wind blowing, and I'm not lying. It feels awesome. Awesome, awesome. I do notice like some of the ones that crepe myrtles have been pruned, and the ones that have not, me and Paul have noticed like these leaves right here look bigger than the ones that have not been pruned. And I think they look fuller, like deeper green. Of course, you know, I did give mine fertilizer, so that might be why they're more green versus my neighbors. But let's go down here. I don't believe my neighbor right here pruned theirs, and I just want to compare the leaves. So do you see the leaf structure? It's like almost like it looks like it's two different trees. And this one hasn't bloomed out yet. You can still see they have some of the old pods right there. But it's not, that's why you should fertilize. It's not as deep green. The leaves are totally different on it than the other ones, and mine have bloomed first. So we have them all lined down our street here. Can you see a difference? Like, I can definitely see a difference. So there you go. Benefit of pruning your crepe myrtles. So I just noticed, and I was gonna come over here with my Focos and cut that little branch right there that just doesn't seem to fit. If you're not happy with the canopy, and when you get a new tree, you can constantly go ahead and start lifting up the canopy. But this is not necessary for right here. So I'm just gonna take my Foco 2 pruners and cut this right here as close to the main branch as I can. I'm trying to do it with one hand. Just try to make a clean cut right there. And then that way, it just looks a little cleaner. See? And then I got one more here on the other one too that I need to grab. So I have 2 trees in my front yard. And these are the exact same. And I do like to come and deadhead these just a little bit because it just looks a little bit cleaner. But again, not necessary. If you ever see anything eating on your petunias, then it might be budworm, and then you might need to spray for those. If you notice like holes in your blooms or like the lack of, you might want to make sure you don't have any budworms. Laura with Garden Answer battles them all the time. She has to proactively do them constantly, and for me, I don't feel like I have to until the end of the summer. So I'm not going to spray if I don't have to. And like I said, there is ways that you can protect the bees and stuff by doing things like later at night too. Again, I'm sorry, very controversial. I almost like don't even want to talk about it sometimes because of the comments that I get, but most people do not want holes in their blooms. And all right, and up here, do you see I have some really wonky, like this branch is crossing over, and I want to get that one off too. So you see how it's crossing? So we'll get that one off. And then this one, I don't really want. I want this to be my main branch right here. So I'm gonna cut that off. And let's see. This one right here, I'm not really happy with that one either. We'll get it too. Yeah, I guess you could get this little one in here too if you wanted. Right here. There's one in there too. Same with this one. This one's kind of, really don't like that one. This one right here too. All right. A little better, don't you think? Alright guys, so next thing is pruning up this. Like some of this you can just kind of come like that and just kind of prune it up a little bit. Limb it up so it looks kind of pretty cohesive. Now this is bothering me right here. This, where this limb's going off. So I think I'm gonna just cut it all the way back. And that way it's not like encroaching over there. Yes, some of you are gonna say, why did you plant that in somewhere that you have to cut on it and you just can't let it like do its own thing? I get it guys, like, but that's how you garden, like that's fine, but I just really wanted a pretty structure right here that was gonna look beautiful. And to me, I always think it's really nice to have red in the garden too. So I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to prune on it. And I'm okay with it. And it's something that you can keep control of. So I like it. Cut this one all the way back. I just don't want it growing on this right here. You know, kind of like a bonsai. Like people prune on trees all the time to keep them size controlled. It's no different. This is my bonsai experiment, you guys. That's what this is. And yes, it's going to continue to grow, and yes, I'm going to have to continue to prune on it. So if this is something that you do not want to do, then don't put it in front in your landscape space where it can't grow like I did. But I wanted something that's not going to get too tall, which this fits the bill. It's a dwarf Japanese maple. It's not going to get too tall. I don't want anything that's going to hide my windows behind me. Like I said, it's easy to control. So I think I like that structure a little bit better. Now I need to do my spiral boxwoods. All right, so I'm just trying to squeeze into my hedge here. I am going to use my old sheet to go all the way around, catch my clippings, pull your weeds while you're at it. This one I think, and I do need to spray this for spider mites too. I do love me some boxwoods, but I do not like the spider mites. So this is supposed to be more like a ball up here. So let's just start clipping some. To me, this one's easier to do with my pruners. So tell me, like, what is your favorite shrub for your front yard? You have to be concerned in your front yard more than anything else about size control. Because if you get something that's 6, 7 feet, 8 feet tall, and it starts to take over your garden, and it starts to look bad. So it's really hard. There's not very many plants that you could buy that fit that bill. These are sprinter boxwoods, so they can get 4 feet tall, but I can keep them manageable size at 2 feet tall. So you almost have to buy a dwarf type boxwood too. Hollies do really, really good here. There's a soft touch holly that does okay. There's some smaller viburnums that keep evergreen all year round. You just want to make sure that you have something green that's going to stay green all year round for winter too. Like, give me some ideas. What do you have in your front yard that is easy to keep size control? Some azaleas, but for some reason I had azaleas up here and they did not do good. They do better on my side garden that gets a little bit more afternoon shade. So I don't know if, you know, they say azaleas take full sun, but maybe not our Carolina sun. You kind of see where this spiral is going here. Have to go all the way back to the base to keep it looking in shape here. And sometimes I just want to pull it apart a little bit. Like so, and then trim. Kind of gives me an idea of where my form is going. Does that help you guys? Like where you kind of pull it back away from your main area? And tell me what you use for spider mites. Do you care? This little speckling on the leaves bothers me. Need to grease my focos. I'm just trying to define this space right here. Alright, so you kind of get the gist of it. I'm gonna like continue to do this off camera, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna do this one and the other one, and then I'm gonna show you what these two look like. And the next thing is to prune, deadhead that rose. I got my ladder out, so I think I can get most of it, but a lot of it I cannot get. So just give me a minute to, or like a couple of hours. Won't take me a couple hours, but a good 40 minutes for me to do this, and we'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm all finished with my work today, and that's all I have to do is just give this a tug, and it just wheels its way in. Just like so, and it's got this big little ball on there to stop it. You can put any kind of hose on there that you want. This is my green mount. I just like it because it's metal and heavy, but it comes with a really nice hose nozzle too. And like I said, Vego, very nice, heavy, sturdy. My husband especially loved that it had this quick connect with this where you can turn it on and off right here. He loved that feature. All right, guys. I wanted to share with you guys what we just put down on our grass, what I talked about earlier. This is the Tiff turf that we just put down. It's gorgeous. These are all my babies that I grew from seed. I do need to come in and deadhead, and this is what we're just gonna battle this powdery mildew. Of course, I didn't put anything on there for it. Can we not just love these dahlias as we go back here to my backyard? The air conditioner's on. Look, I want to share with you, look how beautiful this lawn is. I kept the bag because my husband threw it away, but I want to share, like, look how beautiful this grass is. Do you desire grass like this? If you do, I learned from another YouTuber called How To with Doc, and I'll throw his name up. And all the products that he recommended, I put down, and it worked. And I've tried several other things, several other programs. I did Pike's their whole grass routine the year before, and it didn't really do much. But this product, you guys, right here, this Anderson's is a professional, more like professional golf turf, right? But this is what he recommended for the summer. 16-4-8 fertilizer with the humic DG, whatever. But this helps turn your soil over where it makes your soil better. The humic acid, is it humic acid? I'm tired. I have worked all day on that front yard. But anyways, it's called the PGF Complete Professional Grade Fertilizer with micronutrients, iron for deep greening, and humic DG for soil health. There you go. So that humic DG is for the soil health. We've been putting the humic on for about 3 years total, so I think we're about done now, but I like it that this still has it in there. And it says it's all turf types, all season, feeds up to 8 weeks, penetrates through the root zone, and then it has double coverage. So this one bag was about, I'm just gonna say around $98, and I have it on where it comes from Amazon to me every single month because I don't want to forget. So every 4 weeks I put this on. And then we also, early in the spring, if you have not, treat your grubs. I put 2 different products down, Duicide, and it helps with the fleas and ticks and all that kind of stuff, especially if you have a dog. I don't ever have to worry about that with Sasha. And then we put down the, there's 3 products for the grubs, fertilizer, and then for the fungicide is what we put down too. And I'll include all those products. You can always go to my links and see all the products that I recommend and that I like and use for my garden. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to tell you about it, or I'm not going to share, because I don't have any sponsorships. There's no reason for me to not be truthful with you guys. Trying to get away from the air conditioner. All right, so let's go back in the front And then we need to like come and do a whole tour on this side. That's what I bought yesterday. Yay! All right, guys, so this is the outcome of my hard work this morning. And I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot in one day, but I got it done. And I've got to go to the other gardens. But this juniper topiary is all pruned up. I pruned up the nepeta down there. The only thing I did over here was pull up some of the weeds. We have a lot of this. Whatever this is, we have a lot of it, but it pulls up easy. I had a couple, you can see right here, volunteers of the pansies that reseed. I wish they would just reseed in the fall, but that's not how it works, is it? Never made it to Lowe's to get the same color. Let's see. And then we got everything. I must have got some fertilizer on this because look what it did. Oops. But anyways, we fertilized these two planters, these two planters. We got all of this Superbena completely done. All of these Mini Vista Supertunia Vista White done. I pruned that up a little bit. Looks a little wonky still here. I think I need to come back and trim that up a little bit. I was just looking at it from the other side. That's why you got to look at all angles. And then my boxwoods, my spiral boxwoods, I trimmed them up, gave them more shape, and then I treated them for spider mites. And then these Sprinter boxwoods, I gave those just a trim on the top as well. And then because trimming always makes a mess, I went back and added a little bit more mulch just to kind of hide some of it, because you know you get this right there. So I treated those for spider mites too. I just need to come and drench it, you guys, is what I need to do instead of spraying it. And I haven't had enough to drench, and I need to put it in another sprayer. But this is what I'm talking about. Do you see the speckling on the leaves there? That's what spider mite damage is. So it just sucks on these leaves here. And they're so tiny you can't see them. Unless you guys tell me it's something else, because that's what I've learned that it was. And then when you're in here fertilizing too, you can always just kind of like examine your plants. I do have a couple of pieces in here. This begonia wing or angel wing right here, it's not a begonia, it's more like a, this right here is more like a sedum. But you can come in here and help clean some of this up too, like this, that you see while you're at it. And if you're never really looking at your flowers, you'd miss some of this stuff, right? Like this leaf doesn't look all that great. Go and pinch that off. There's some ones down in here too that don't look great. So examine your plants while you're watering or feeding. Look for bugs, insects, something, anything that's making your plants miserable. And your mama miserable. I'm mama. My husband always calls me mama ever since I had the kids. Well, anyways, whatever makes us miserable and our plants miserable, we need to keep an eye for. This, some of the Japanese beetles are been munching on that, but I don't see too many. Yes, I do. Look right here. Do you see that? So I'm still getting them. They're just gross. This hardy hibiscus, this is one plant, you all. It's a perennial. It loves its life. This is very awesome, and it's doing really, really good. So I did come over on the other side where it was just kind of out of control. I pruned it over there. So like I said, I think it looks so much better. More manicured. Doesn't look so crazy. I hope this was inspirational. I hope you learned something from me today. If not, I hope you just enjoyed me working in my garden. If you can't get out into your own garden, it's still fun to watch someone else get into their own garden. Like making sure you like look at all these gorgeous plants. like what's not to love about this, right? And as always, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, because the more likes and the more shares that I get, it helps me so much, you guys, grow my channel. This is hard work and it takes a lot of time, but I'm here for you guys, and for some reason, God wants me to do this for you, and I'm doing this for you. So make sure you like, share, and help me grow. What else? So I think after we did this today, and then the next day that I'm off, I think we're gonna battle the west side garden. We need to get over there and prune things up and make things look a little bit more tidy. And I got to share lots of gorgeous balloons with you guys over there, because there's so much stuff that's beautiful over there. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.